Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it
So welcome to the show, everyone. Where's my music?
all the way for one thing, just for one thing.
Well, we're supposed to have a tax man on right now, so when it comes on, I want to hear it because I have with me, take off my music already. I have with me my first guest. He's been on several times with me. Normally it comes on. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs, too. Yeah. I have with me Stefan Buehrer. Thank you. A little late, better late than never. It's a live show. What can we say?
Yeah.
And you know what? You're the taxman. You've been doing this how long? Talk a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been doing this since '89. I mean, not since '96, essentially in my own practice, but slave labor before that. You are.
Yeah, absolutely. But you've been doing this a long time. And obviously we know that it is tax season. It's everybody wants their money back, right? It is tax time. And also, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that you wrote a book that we're going to be, that's different than we've ever done. And I'm so excited. I've been talking about it so long. So let's talk a little bit about your book that you wrote, because you're going to be giving it away today to everyone.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So everyone's going to get this. Hold on tight with us. Tell us about the book.
So essentially, we call it the Legacy Tax Reduction and Audit Protection System, because it really is a system. And then I added on that last section of the name, why did my CPA tell me about this? And the reason I did that is because that's the feedback we get from people when they read it. It's very comprehensive. It's those kind of things that the average doesn't know about.
So it's a very big book.
It is.
But somebody should not get intimidated by it.
Absolutely. It's
because
very reader-friendly, section by section.
And if there are different things that they can look at to find out, to see, it's like a reference book in a sense?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it breaks it down by sections, the type of deductions. It also has a whole section of audit protection, which is how to document yourself, how to prepare your documents so that if you ever do get audited, it's going to be a smooth one.
Well, I'm going to open up the lines to the audience for everyone to call in for this. You can call in for the book. You can ask a question, but you can just call in for the book, too, if you want. We want to get you connected with him. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show, too, for it, because it's the first time that you've ever finally brought this and done it.
One other time.
I'm so excited. Did you?
Yeah, one other time. I've been rewriting it for a while. So it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty comprehensive.
Well, you have to.
And the laws change throughout
exactly.
time. And I've just got to try to keep it up to date.
Right. You have to do that. So our lines are open here. You can call here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You got to check him out on his website. It is Legacy Tax Resolution Services.com, and you also can help anyone from anywhere. Let's talk about that, too.
We do work in all states. So we do not only tax preparation, tax planning, but tax resolution work as well.
There we go.
So, we're helping clients that have tax problems, be they payroll, sales tax, income tax.
You also have offices. Last time you were here, I remember you told me you have offices in other states, too.
Currently in Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, all these states and the surrounding states with the exception of Arizona. Not Arizona, but Colorado,
right,
and California.
Okay, and is all of that information also on your website?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we have a little map on there that shows you all the locations.
Okay, good. So again, that website is LegacyTaxResolutionServices.com, and you can call him direct. It's 480-907-6644, or toll free at 800-829-7483. All right, so it's time to file. Already, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, but I'm not ready. And I'm not ready.
That's not that uncommon.
Right. Who is ready anyway? The people that just don't have, they're not getting a lot back.
Yeah, or you don't have, there's not much to your return. The people that are ready. The people that have substantial returns, a lot of them don't even have their stuff yet.
But there's a lot of people that don't have it yet. I mean, even like my children, I'm going to say that, are still waiting for some of their things. Everything is done online now. It's done so differently.
Yeah, and a lot of it's it's your responsibility to pull it down. So those forms you thought that you're going to get are now, they send you a notice, and you're supposed to go get it yourself.
Wow. So you have to do it all yourself. Do you help people with anything like that, or do you also have to have them do the direct,
There's some
direct
things
them as to what to do?
even on our software, there's some things we can pull down directly from like financial services industry.
Okay.
We can pull it down right from their website.
How about this one? I didn't file a return last year because, well, I forgot.
Yep.
Okay. However, I also forgot to file for the past couple of years, and I've been putting my head in the sand because I don't want to pay my taxes. I can't.
And that's a bad thing to do because eventually it'll catch up with you. The IRS will eventually file a tax return for you. They call it a substitute for return. So the IRS has to assess a tax return before they can collect the tax returns. So that's eventually what's going to happen to you. And the IRS has not forgotten about you.
I like your ad. I think it says that they're brutal.
They're the most brutal collection agency on the planet.
Right.
And they have a lot of things available to them that other collection agencies don't.
Well, let's talk also about why people should not do it themselves. Why, when they hear these ads on television, why they should not actually call those people, and, why they should call someone like you.
There's some things that you can do yourself. As a matter of fact, we have a section on our website. We call it Do It Yourself, where there's times, for example, if somebody owes a $5,000 debt, they don't need anybody's help. They really don't to solve their problem. If they're not petrified of the IRS and they don't mind calling, giving some information, they can solve their own tax problem. They don't need someone. But when that debt starts to get larger, or there's some circumstances, or they can't pay that debt within a reasonable period of time.
Some people, $5,000 might be a lot to them.
And now you start to need somebody's help. If you can pay that debt within 3 years, well, then you don't even need anybody's help to call the IRS.
Really?
But when it gets beyond that, you can't. It's going to take you 8-10 years to pay that debt. Now you need somebody's help.
Here's what I think. I think that it's not a smart idea to call the IRS yourself, because once you start talking, you're talking too much, no matter how much you owe.
That's very true. And that's why I tell clients, even the clients we tell them, you can take care of this yourself. All day long I'm telling people, you can do this yourself. You don't need anybody's help. You really don't.
But if you do owe money.
But if you do, when you get those situations where the IRS starts asking you questions that they shouldn't be asking you, take another phone call.
Okay.
Hang up, because they're asking you questions they really shouldn't be asking you, and that means you have something more substantial going on.
And they're trained to know what to ask you for you to slip and things like that.
Yeah, and that's that situation where it's $5,000, and that's an easy installment agreement to set up. If they're asking you financial information on $5,000, there's a problem. There's more going on behind the scenes.
You better call Stefan if they're asking you for any information, especially if it's $5,000 that you only owe. So it is Legacy Tax Resolution Services.com. You can call them direct at 480-907-6644, toll free. He can help anyone, anywhere. 800-829-7483, and our lines are open here for everyone. Everyone's going to get his book that he wrote, and it's huge, and it's a great book. It's a great reference book. It's called Legacy Tax Reduction and Audit Protection System. Why didn't my CPA tell me about that? And everyone's getting it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We have a couple of minutes before we go to a break.
Sure.
So I prepared my own taxes when I went to e-file my return. It was not accepted. What happens then?
Well, if it's not accepted, there's typically a reason for that.
Okay.
And you can go on the IRS's website and you can go on the IRS's website and look for, where's my refund? There they'll show you if there's a reason why your refund didn't come through, there'll be a code there. And you can reference that code and find out what the problem is.
How would they know? How do they reference it? Do they call someone like you?
No, there's actually on their site that shows you what the problem is.
Okay, so here's what we're...
It could be circumstances like somebody else filed the social. That happens very often. One of the dependents, that social's already been used either by the dependent or someone else. That's a very common cause.
That's for people that are divorced?
Well, divorced, or somebody else got a hold of that Social Security number and filed a tax return. That's happening more and more often.
Especially with people that are getting, they steal all of that right now.
Identity theft, absolutely.
Right, that's scary. So... Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You got to call in and get this book that he wrote. It's called Legacy Tax Reduction and Audit Protection System. Why did not my CPA not tell me about that? Again, you can call here. Check him out on his website, which is LegacyTaxResolutionServices.com, or call him direct at 480-907-6644.
the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man.
And we are talking to the tax man. I have with me Stephen Brewer, and we've been talking to him right now about how you can help people. There's a lot of people that haven't had their taxes done. They haven't taken care of it. They're not filing because they're not ready, or they don't want to because they can't afford their tax to pay them.
Yeah.
So they put their head in the sand.
And not deal with it.
They don't want to deal with it. He can't help anyone from anywhere because he has offices throughout the country.
Right.
Also, he can help anyone just because now you can do all of that via phone and Skype now, too.
We help a lot of clients throughout the country, and quite a few of them, well, I've never even physically met them. I've talked to them on the phone. I might have video chatted with them, but I've never physically sat down in front of them.
Now, you got to check out his website. It is LegacyTaxResolutionServices.com, and we have our lines open here for everyone. Everyone's going to get the book that he wrote, which is, it's called Legacy Tax Reduction and Audit Protection System. Why didn't my CPA tell me about that? You said that there's a system, and
Right.
is it your system?
Well, it's a system for anyone.
Okay.
I call it our legacy system. It was tax deductions, giving you the tax deductions in a format that anyone can use. It's not special. It's nothing gray.
There's nothing really
just
gray
deductions.
about it.
It's just really using the law to your benefit.
Right, and that's what I love about my show is that you get to tell all of these people out there information. You know, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But if you want to and you want to find out, maybe there is something that you can get some sort of information from. This book is perfect for that. Our number here, I'm going to get it out. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We have Bud. You're on the line. What's your question?
I've been getting a few phone calls from people saying, they'll leave a voice message. You might have some tax issues. We need to have you give us a call back. And, is it like a scammer?
Well, it could be a tax resolution firm calling you because if you have a lien that's been filed, it's public record, and they're using the lien list to contact you, and they've looked up your phone number. So it could be a legitimate tax resolution company that's contacting you, try to offer their services, or it could be a scam.
Here's my opinion. I think that you should get one I'm going to give you his phone number so
Sure.
you guys get connected because you should find out. Let him talk to you a little bit about. Maybe you have a situation that's cool. A lot of people do. Nothing to be embarrassed about that. But let him talk to you so that he can tell you what that's all about. So his phone number is 480-907-6644, and I'm going to connect you after the show. You're also going to get the book as well.
Okay.
The ones you have to worry about are the ones that are telling you you're going to be sued. Those are definitely a scam.
Wow.
The IRS is going to sue you, or they're going to arrest you at any moment. Those are definitely a scam.
Well, thanks for the call. We're going to go ahead and make sure that you guys get connected because that's perfect. Obviously I do know that they do have, it's public record for all of that. So some people can get it and get that information. Otherwise, how would they get the number? You know what I mean?
Right.
But our lines are open here, so everyone who's calling in is going to get this book, and it's a great book. It's a reference guide for you to be able to find out what you can deduct or not. And our number here again is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. When we were at the break, we were talking right here, just before the break, we were talking about, Social Security numbers and how people are using them. They're stealing them, and they're filing more than one tax return.
Yep.
And then it makes a lot of hassle for the person that really belongs to that Social Security number. We even had somebody in here that said that happened to me. So it's that prevalent.
It's becoming more prevalent. Every year I have more and more of our clients that new clients that come to us and say they've got a PIN number. And the PIN number is the IRS's way of protecting that individual, verifying that's actually them. And more people are coming to us every year telling us they have a PIN number and we have to use that PIN number.
So
That's sad.
it's somebody that's stolen it.
Yep. Somebody has used a Social Security number on that return, and now this person has to prove that it's them every year by using that PIN number.
And you said that you can't even file it by e-file it.
Nope.
Because it won't go through,
Nope.
no matter what.
Once that Social Security number has been used, that social can't be used again in the electronic filing system. You have to paper file a return and go through the process of identifying yourself to prove that it's you.
Well, and you said sometimes you won't even. Well, do you know right away? I mean, you may not know right away.
We'll know. We'll file in the return. We'll know it bounces.
No,
it immediately says that Social Security number has already been used.
Okay.
Yep.
What happens if somebody sent that in through the mail? would that and the same thing happen?
Not likely, because it takes so much longer to process through the mail.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, because I would think that could happen to anyone like that, and if they would, how long would it take? And they don't know that, and they're waiting, and then the money that they thought they were going to get went into somebody else's account.
That could not somebody else's account.
Whatever.
They're pretty good about making sure that the account matches the Social Security number. So it's not like they go into somebody else's account. But you could electronically file your return and wondering what happened to your return and why you're not getting it, and somebody else paper filed the return. And so now, again, yours is hung up because two people use that social.
You don't want to have your money hung up? That's not a good thing.
No. It's becoming more prevalent. It's sad.
I want to get to some of these more of these questions if I can talk today.
Sure.
But anyway, I'm afraid to file as my husband owes back child support, and they always take our refund. Is there anything I can do to avoid this happening now and in the future?
Well, a couple things you could do. You can file it as an injured spouse, which means that it's essentially saying, I want to file together, but don't take my refund to pay my spouse's debt. So what we do is we allocate the income and the expenses on the return to show this is what I would have gotten if I had filed separately, essentially.
Right. Now, I didn't know that. If I would have known that when I was getting a divorce, I should have known some of that kind of stuff. That was where your book comes in handy.
And the other option is to file separately. Don't file together.
Okay, but if you're in the process of getting a divorce, you still married? Do you still what do you do?
It's really one of those judgment calls, because you really have to understand what the circumstances are. Whenever you think there's a potential debt from a spouse or a prior spouse, filing separate is a protection measure.
So our lines are open here. I'm going to let you call throughout the rest of the show for it. The book is called Legacy Tax Reduction and Audit Protection System. You'll be able to go through it and reference some of the things that you might not even know that you can get a tax reduction on. It's why didn't my CPA tell me about that? And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone can call in and get this, and everyone should have it just by the side of their, and they should keep it.
It's a great reference.
It's a reference book.
If you're looking at, is that deductible? Go check it out.
Absolutely. Now, here's another one. I owe $5,000 to the IRS after I filed my taxes. What are my options, and what do I have to do to contact a professional? Tell them your phone number.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the situation I was talking about before, where it's not a great amount of money, at least to the IRS it's not. It may be to that individual, but the IRS has systems in place that if you meet certain criteria, you can do what they call a guaranteed installment agreement. So the requirements are that you have all your returns for the past 5 years are filed. You agree to pay the balance in full within a 3-year period, and that you're financially able to pay that. If you meet those criteria, you can get an installment agreement. It's a guaranteed installment agreement. That's why I was telling you about that situation where you don't really need anybody's help.
Right. Well, anybody that owes more.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I owe more money.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid. I have just put it off, and I have not done my taxes in like 8 years. I'm going to just say. That's
the circumstance where you think you owe $10,000 because you know what? That 2008 return that the IRS is barking to you about, that's the one you owe $5,000. But you know you haven't filed in the last 8 years. You know there's more debt.
Well, there has to be, because aren't there penalties?
They are, and you know that debt is much larger than that. That's the circumstances where you need some help.
So
it's not just the $5,000. That's not the only problem here.
Right. So you owe when somebody calls you. What is the process? You do a free consultation?
We do. And we go through that scenario just like I'm asking what created the situation in the first place. I can discover a lot about that individual and just asking them questions.
And also, if they are in trouble and you have not done your taxes, please, please, please don't you put your head in the sand. Give them a call.
Right. That's what we call the ostrich method. And it doesn't work. It will not solve the problem. The IRS has not forgotten about you.
Right. They may not they have a lot of people to contend with, so they may not call you right away.
They haven't gotten to you yet, but they haven't forgotten about you either.
Again, his phone number direct, it's 480-907-6644. And that nationally that you can call him, his number is toll-free 800-829-7483. He can help anyone from anywhere. You can also check him out on his website. It is LegacyTaxResolutionServices.com. What are your final words?
Again, just like you just said, I mean, find out what your options are. That's the most important thing. Know what solutions are available to you. Don't stick your head in the sand.
He does free consultations with everyone. I'm also going to let you call throughout the rest of the show for this book. I think everyone should have it just to be sure, just to reference what it is that would work for you. You don't have to be intimidated by it at all. He said it's really easy. He made it simple for everyone. It's Legacy Tax Reduction and Audit Protection System. Why didn't my CPA tell me about that? Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out on his website. Again, it is LegacyTaxResolutionServices.com, or call him at 480-907-6644.